this place? All right, howdy, folks. Welcome back. I told you I would be back. And let's get this show on the road here while this is loading up here. And take a moment to thank you all for taking a moment of your precious time, even in replay, to be here with this precious family. And I know there's all kinds of wonderful, juicy drama going on right now, so I won't much of an audience, but that's okay. They can watch it on replay. Anyways, thank you for taking a moment of your time to be here with this precious family. Okay, so as we kind of look into today here, I'll let this loop play for a second. This is already critters. Dang. August 21st, 2024. Okay, and I'm going to let that loop play. It's not much, but you can see that first little white object, right? This first one here, moving out. A couple other little stragglers here and there. A little stripe right through there, too. And then something moving out down here. It's a very faint. Let me just kind of cut the back there. What is going on? You guys are playing with my stuff. Dang. Real gremlins. All right, cool. Anyways, down here in this little corner, it's really kind of faded, but you can see something ghostly kind of sneaking through right there at the end. All right, so we're going to go ahead and capture the opening frame here, and then we'll kind of get marching through this. Whoops, do a little better job of grabbing that frame. All right, here it comes. All right, back up just a tad bit. So opening frame, 024 of August 21st, 2024. 24. Blah. And you can see our event's already kind of underway, something right here already kind of going. And then trailing out behind it is this little event here. So as we kind of plow through this. Okay, our structure, this thing that's down below here, I want to capture it right here at this frame. So just zoom in really quick. Scroll down. Scooch it on over. And we might have to dim it just a tad bit there. Whoops, that's the dim one. There we go. All right, so something right in this area here. Looks like it has little prongs or something coming off of it. But what I want to try to do here is, oh, we didn't. Why does it do that? Please, can we just go next? Now, if I can grab that bar. Yeah, there's something there kind of sliding on out. There's a good shot of it. Right there. All right, and like I said, it looks like it has these little spikes or prongs or something streaking back behind it. Probably plasma that's still attached, that's still streaking back. You can see even back here the three-prong effect, even trailing back in this little region here as well. So there's that. Ooh, wait a second. Is this one big old craft right here? You see this right here that I'm circling? There's something, this whole object right here. Oh, let's back up a little bit and pull this back over. Okay. Huh. Whatever's going on in there is definitely something a little strange. Something going on in there. And you can see the three prong or this prong effect here at the tail end of this. So something going on right in here. I'll let you be the judge of that. You can come on over here and take a peek. Something else going on over here too. Whoops. I didn't even click it. How could that happen? Alright. Really? Stop it with that. I want to go just these last few frames here. Sorry, it's jumpy, or else I'll have to zoom out. I just kind of want to capture that leaving the frame there because there's something there. All right, back to regular mode. Okay. And as we plow through this, okay, so our event's kind of leaving the screen now here at 5. And then you can make out something else kind of trailing along here. Meantime, we got another event popping off over here. And our little bright one coming out up there. I'll let you guys kind of be the judge on that one too. Tilt your head to the right a little bit. Tell me what you see there. And then we have this event going on too. You can see the outside rim right here, and our plasma streaking over it. But there's something illuminating right here. Little moon capturing some plasma or something there as well. And I don't like the skipping effect, so I'm just going to have to back out until we get to a good frame. All righty. Thank you for your patience there. Very interesting, whatever's going on in that. There we go. Right here. We'll zoom in on that one. Okay, because here you can clearly see our black round object, plasma flowing over it, streaking off the top of it, carrying on. You can see light came out here, took a different direction. It bent light. See this prong came, or not prong, but this ray of plasma, streak of plasma, bends right here. Comes out, bends probably around this black object, gets attracted to this one, streaks past it. Okay, so there's a lot more going on in there. Meets the average eye, so I think that's why people aren't seeing it. Meantime, this thing's still over here, still reacting to the instrument there. Yay, it's nice to see fresh faces in here too. All right, so as we continue on, there goes our object out of screen. Little faint moon or something over there. Saw that one trying to sneak through there. All kinds of activity if you just kind of pick one and watch it. Okay, and that was, little jump in data from 1424 to 1537. So whatever event came out right here, we missed it. Okay. We totally are missing the data from 1424 to, next frame 1537, and you see this one. So this event is, tail end of it's still right there. Can you guys see our dark round black object right in there? I bet it was painted pretty well, I should say, when it came out. And that's why they scrubbed those frames. Right in this region, there's something, and you can see the spread going around something bigger here. right. So I want to back out of that. Move on. Yeah, there was our gap in data. Now all of a sudden we have this one that's erupting now instead. Like that one never happened right there. So we just jump to the next one. Okay. And of course, there's something going on in it as well. Okay, here's our little object. Grabbed onto some plasma. The instrument's reacting to it. When I put it back into motion, you'll clear. Let me back on. A lot of this stuff is, you see it a lot clearer when it's in motion. Our eyes are designed to detect motion. You know, like the T-Rex, he's got the pixels in the back of his eye, so he sees any kind of motion, he chases you. Our eyes are designed similar. The pixels on the back of your retina are designed to, or in the back of your eyeball, are designed to pick up motion. Okay, so when we put the things back into motion, let me center that a little bit better. It paints the target a little bit better. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of these images, you got to remember, this is a lot of space it's covering. All right, it looks like slow motion, but it's covering millions of miles in this short little time span here too. So you got to remember that a lot of these things, these events that you see here, look like they're going in slow motion, but they do travel quite a distance there. So. All right, and whatever was going on down here, I'll let you guys be the judge. You guys got eyes to see something right there. Okay, you come on over here to this. You know what I'm going to do really quick? We're going to do this. And then go like that. There we go. I'll let that loop run 2 more times real quick. See a little streak come in and zap it. And then something else comes out over there. All kinds of crazy activity going on around our sun these days. You know, this time frame, you're supposed to look for signs in the sun. Oh, there's a critter. Hey. Yeah. Can we go up the back too? Oh, it's already open. Not good. All right, I'm gonna do the show. Sorry. Oh. All right. Meantime, you're supposed to study the sun for signs in the sun. And, well, we've seen all kinds of signs in the sun. And now we see different kinds of, well, spiritual activity, these UFOs, these stellar cores, all kinds of stuff going on out there. Okay, so let's go on back to our standard little shot right here. Lottie, hello. All right, I'm brightening back up there a little bit. Oh, that's what it was going to be, the title. Oh, well. I'll have to change the title later. All right, so here is your activity for the day. All right, not a lot, but you can see craziness still going on there. All right, let's get on up here real quick. Our solar flux indice is still hovering right around 239. It's up 1 point, so it's still kind of right at that level. Didn't really change too much, just 1 point. So sunspot number count is way down. We dropped 24 out of the red and back yellow, so that's good. And our area has dropped quite a bit too, and we're back in the yellow there. So 2 good indicators. And we just need the solar flux to start dropping as well. All right. Meantime, though, we got our sunspots, don't we, folks? All right. So let me just slide a little bit. We see 3788. Those ones departing. Our main concern is this one right here, 3790. We are located on the southern hemisphere of the sun. We're not at the equator of the sun. Our Earth is just a tad bit south of the equator. So these things line up to hit us right here, okay? Center disk, you see this complex configuration going on. Red and blue getting really close here, okay? It could touch this way, touch that way. It could touch back to this one. All right, we've seen before, all right? So not too far out of the scope, really, and very dangerous, complex. You see how intense they're getting? They're very big, very powerful. Okay, 3794 is no slouch either up here. We got to keep an eye on that one as well. These are indicators that something's messing with the magnetic field of the. They're reacting to something out there. That's the spikes, the spires that come out of the sun are come out of these sunspots. And they're pointing like needles, like magnetic compass needles to inbound objects. They come up to a certain point and then the magnetic field other and they bounce off and ricochet. Meanwhile, we got this 3796 too. This is another region to kind of pay attention to because we got a close configuration right here. This blue is very powerful, and that red's picking up as well. This one's pretty powerful. It could connect this way. You know, of course, it wants to go that way, but it could connect bing like that. And if we look, there's other little red sunspots or a little red charge, positive charge. And then this one over here. We'll watch out for that one as well. It seems to be these things flare up as the object approaches. They do their thing when it interacts and passes by, and then as it trails away, spaghettification of that tail or whatever, the sunspots start to decrease in their power. Okay, so here we are. Over goes X-ray flux here. Good time to fix any kind of wavy lines here. Yeah, close enough. All right, so there's your activity for the day right there. Boom, boom, boom. And then we had our big spike right there at the end. All right, there's some activity already going on into the next day here. Would you guys like to take a look at this? Are you sure? You sure you don't want to go over here and take a little peek? Oh, maybe we don't get to tonight. Refresh and bingo. Refresh and nothing. Oh, we got shot down. All right, back to this. Wait. 2 arrows, 2 back. All right, so I guess no juicy nuggets tonight. We'll have to save that for tomorrow night. Okay. Meanwhile, this site's having little problems every time it comes up. It's either in my bandwidth or something, but there's your ghost X-ray flux for the day. Your X flare potential. There, it's starting to fill in here. 20% M flare, 60% proton, 10% your X flare potential there. Come on, you, what's taking so long? Oh, starting to. I hit the thing one too many times and we backed out of it. There it goes. Start fresh. All right. So that M flare that we had today is a 5.1. This one right here, not too bad, but it's heading our way. So 5.1 out of region 3796. All right, and we come down here. Geomagnetic field right now is doing okay. We had a little increase in our KP right there. See that spike? Last night around this time, we had that same similar kind of spike right there. Okay, so it's not a lot, but we're getting these little waves of energy, and they're showing up on our Schumann. Okay, it's not much, but like I said, the boundary between the core and the shell is very, very close. So any small little hiccup like this causes reactions. Meanwhile, just beta gamma going on here. No beta gamma delta configuration, which is fine with me. I will take that all day. Here's 3790, the one we should watch. It's beta gamma and stable. Okay, it's not growing or declining. It's stable, so that's fine with me. We'll take that any day of the week. All right. Meantime, M5 solar flare 3760 or 96, located in the southeast quadrant, produced an M51 solar flare at 20T08. Okay. So far, this event does not appear to be eruptive. Additional M flares will remain possible during the next 24 hours. There is currently a 20% chance for X flares. Okay. I need a sip here. All right. No real CMEs to really track tonight to check out. Well, let's just see if they got anything coming off of this event here. Sometimes this one will update a little quicker. We'll see. Meanwhile, over here doesn't show many, any Earth impact here for a while, so that's good. Here it comes. They're showing it going this direction here. Slowly, painfully, but not too much to look at going. All right, so let's just back out of there. All right, let's come on over here to the spaceweather.com. Now, sunspot numbers at a 20-year high for the second month in a row. The monthly average of sunspot numbers is cruising towards a 20-year high. The current value, around 230, would eclipse every month since September of 2001, which occurred during a peak of the old solar cycle 23. The current solar cycle 25 was not supposed to be this strong, and it may become even stronger before solar max is finished. Okay, this cycle wasn't supposed to be this strong. Well, because it's not behaving to the regular rules. Okay, we got other things that are happening here. Now, pretty cool shot of Saturn going behind the moon there, but it's not real. It's just a little, a little demonstration of the lunar occultation of Saturn. Okay. Saturn went behind the moon and got occulted by the moon. So this morning, along a path of totally stretching from South America to Europe, skywatchers saw the full moon swallow Saturn. Oh my God, Saturn's gone. The lunar occultation lasted more than 45 minutes and produced some very rare photos of ring Saturn near the crater edge of the moon. Browse the gallery. An HDR animation of the occultation, okay? It's an animation. But pretty cool anyway. That's what happened. The star kind of disappeared. If you looked up into the sky, you would see Saturn and the moon really close to each other and then kind of disappear. It would disappear behind the moon. So pretty cool event. The moon, I guess, was it Saturn last night? That's why I feel so full. All right. Now let's come on over here to our Schumann. And what a mess we have here. Okay. Been quite one of those days. All right. Last night we were talking about this roller coaster of just intense off, intense reduce, intense less, all right. So the roller coaster ride right there. And then right after the show, boom, huge blast. This is what we were looking at as we were doing last night's show, as the beginnings of this. Since then, it's just been boom, boom, big blast there. Then kind of rough ride through most of the day. And then two sharp impulses again. Something about this, you guys need to understand. Your 7.83, this line going across, is the one that we're concerned about. All the other frequencies don't. Well, they matter, but the 7.83 is what I'm concerned with, because that's the one that affects you, okay? And when you're getting it very intense, which white is intense, we're looking at this line, not how big the stripes are, the color of this line going across. That was your day. Intense taper. This whole thing was yesterday. That was a little roller coaster ride right there. Now we have had another one. Okay, so if you're experiencing pain, confusion, dizziness, irritation, irritability, it affects different people different ways. Some people feel energized from it, okay, but it's still affecting you in the background, all right? Do you know there's like this subliminal shock test going on? You're being like almost like, what's the not a lobotomy, but where they would shock you, like a lobotomy. You're getting shocked in the background subliminally and you don't know it. So it's important that you understand that when your day's just going fine, all of a sudden everything goes upside down. Well, maybe it's because this. maybe it didn't affect you, but it affected somebody near you and they stepped out of character or something. Okay. So it's important that you got to be forgiving and understanding as well as, well, tolerant and have endurance. Okay. This is testing you. It's testing you. Anyways, we had quite the swing of pressure. It was very intense. We had grinding, tapered off, it ground again, some grinding all day right there. It's not intense, but it's still grinding. Okay, it's like well, almost like a dentist drill grinding at your teeth or whatever in the background. Then it got very intense, tapered off, got less intense in that little stripe, re-intensified, died down, re-intensified, tapered off, and then you just see it's that little roller coaster ride there of intense, not so intense, intense. I'm just refreshing here to see if we got anything else. I want to see what's currently happening right now. So it's not green, okay? It's showing red. You see the different scale over here showing intensity, right? Okay, so your red is right up there, but white, pink and white is more intense. Okay, so very bumpy day today. You guys handled it well. You really did. You may not feel like you did, but you did. What the heck kind of face is that? Okay, so let's just first off, we got these storms that are lining up heading towards Hawaii here. This one right here getting concerning. You see our flow that comes up from here, kind of pushing stuff up. And this could get sucked into going south of Hawaii and the islands there. And it would be a 1, 2, 3 in a row. We'll go over to the thermal anomaly map and see what's really going on there here in a minute. Meanwhile, there's that. You have storm up here in England. This whole vortex is still lashing England and this coastline. Well, not the coastline so much anymore, but just north of it. Okay, and then just kind of looking around. Oh yeah, this one out here. Whoa, who put acid in the punch? All right, this vortex right here, and another one starting to form, and a third one right here. Okay, so these three starting to line up as well. Okay, now what I want to do, that is totally funny. All right, enough playing around. This flow also that's going right up through the country. Okay, that's we'll get a little in depth on that, but I want to position it right here and then take you over to the sandstorm. Yeah, I know, I saw that too. Crazy, huh? These reports are getting harder and harder to do. All right, meanwhile, our sand plume, very intense here, but this last little wave coming off is just a thin stripe of intensity. This white is this stripe. So it's a little fizz coming out, but there's a break right in here. There's a break right in there. So we'll have to watch these little areas carefully because if they pass over some hot water, we get a little bit of oomph from the sun and we're going to have hurricane genesis. Meanwhile, we need this sandstorm plume to continue to blow stuff across this area, disrupting any kind of hurricane genesis. You know, they predicted a very strong hurricane season this year, and they would have been right. But what they didn't know, the unknown factor they didn't understand was this sand diminishes the cloud top height. Cloud tops can't get that high, the thunderstorms don't get that severe, and your hurricane doesn't produce. So that sand is disrupting that, thankfully, but we do have these gaps we'll have to watch them. Okay, meanwhile, it's spreading back this way. This whole region now turning into one big, huge sandstorm. Okay. All of Saudi Arabia getting covered, Yemen, Oman, Then as we pull back, sorry, got a little too close in there. There's still that thing with an eye and a sandstorm right here at the Gobi Desert. Okay. You see these intense sand plumes that grow and spread around. And yeah, that region. Well, this part might dissolve, and this part might just turn into one big sand dune and bury the whole region. Who knows? But it's getting intense over there, as you can see. And maybe you can even see why it's getting so intense over there. Anyway, we're going to continue on with our chemicals now. Get over to our SO2. Okay. Bring it on. What's our face look like with SO2 on it? Nothing. Sure looked funky the other way, though. All right, let's zero in on the United States. Here is our country divided. One side bleeding out SO2 because the ground's very soft and porous and spongy and stuff, okay? So SO2 bleeds up through the ground. Thankfully, it's not starting any fires over on that side. Meanwhile, over on this side, we do have perforations in the crust where the SO2, comes out of the cracks and holes in the ground. So there's your country divided, all right? Every time. Now, we come up here, put her on the fires, do a quick little fire report, okay? Because our SO2 emissions coming out of the ground, the gas surrounding the 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 degree magma, the gas is so hot when it comes out of the ground, it causes spontaneous combustion. It makes things burst into flame that are right next to it because the gas is so hot, okay? Also, we might have methane emissions around these sites as well. We don't have a methane thing on this instrument, but methane is a gas that is already hot, and when it comes out of the ground, hits the air, it catches on fire. So the gas comes out of the ground on fire already. That's methane, okay? SO2 has the potential of just coming out of the ground super hot in the first place, sparking fires. It's been causing this, problem up here in Canada since last year. But the activity started to creep south, okay, into the lower 48. And you can see over here at Washington area, these SO2 sites, some of them have fires at them, huh? Especially this site that opened up here in Oregon. We should give this little volcano or something a little name. This little site that opened up, I think it was Mr. MBB, showed the 120-mile plume and the shadow that it cast once that thing popped open. It wasn't it was kind of like a volcanic eruption because it left an ash plume or some a shadow. So we did have an eruption there of some continues to bleed, very concentrated amounts of SO2, a bit of fires in the area. Okay. A little spot here on the Oregon coast. All right, look at this now. These mountain chains, or the volcano ridge that runs down here from Washington down through Oregon is emitting SO2 now. We have that pressure that's built up out here off of the Juan de Fuca. Remember we talked about that last night? And here we go. It's sparking fires. We got these volcanic sites emitting SO2 coming down through here. Also, we had that fire up here in Northern California that was sparked by SO2 emission. This one, I don't know so much. Maybe the plume died down or something, but down here in Southern California, definitely SO2, strong emissions, causing a fire. All right. They might shut me down for talking about such things or whatever, but it's important you guys to understand, okay? And it was creeping further down into Mexico. That activity kind of I don't know. It's starting up again over here. This isn't Mexico yet. This is San Diego, so you never know. Maybe they're having riots from the Democrats or something. Who knows? Can't believe people get sucked into that. Heartbreaking. All right, well, let me get out of there. Enough politics, too. You guys will figure it out here soon. Stop off and check on a loved one real quick. Got a favorite little gal lives up here in the crater of Oahu here, so just making sure just SO2 emissions like it should be. That's good. It's emitting a bunch of pressure. I'd rather see SO2 emissions out of that island than volcanic eruptions. Maui doing the same thing here, and of course Hawaii kicking butt, and we might even see volcanic activity out of there. Wave of pressure that comes through. Oh, we got to go down through real quick. Cuba, Jamaica, South America. Fulcrum Point is not totally dark purple tonight. That is the first time in a long time. Look, this one is darker than this one. Notice that? That's a total change. The upper one is darker than our fulcrum point by by a difference there. So something changed there. Maybe we got this spot right here where the quake had relieved energy is starting to fill in and stuff. Pressure starting to build in that area again. Maybe we need another earthquake right there. Even this one intensified. That's across from it. It's even darker. Well, almost darker than the fulcrum point one. That's different tonight. Never seen that before. All right, as we come on down here, South America still spewing SO2. That's good. It relieves the pressure, builds up along this plate boundary, keeping earthquake magnitudes down when pressure's relieved. If that SO2 emissions along the coast were to ever stop and plug up and none of it came out, watch out. You'd have like a 9 or a 10 come out of that fracture zone. All right, but not happening right now. So, not to fear. Backing up for China in this region. Okay, still serious emissions coming out of this whole region. SO2 coming up clears a little tubeway, a little pathway for their gas to travel up through the zigzag through the dirt. And then it rains and water flows down that and erodes it away. And then this gas comes out and digs more and rain goes in and just back and forth, eroding away this place. You better pay attention and get on board or else they're gonna dissolve. Anyways, here's Taiwan kind of locked up doing nothing but spewing SO2. We haven't seen a quake out of that region in a while, so it's spewing SO2 now. Meanwhile, intensification here at Japan. Look at that. Very dark plumage, very different. Japan looks very different tonight. Korea, North Korea, South Korea, they're filling into this whole region up here. This band right here just intensified as well. Okay, then we got clear up here at the top of the world, way up in Siberia. We still got intense SO2 emissions up at the top of the world because, well, we've got a lot of pressure coming out of that region. Okay, last night we did not make it over here, but here's the island of Java, nice and dark purple tonight. That's a very intense coloration of Java tonight. So we've had an increase of SO2 emissions as a result from pressure down below. We saw the Schumann grinding, building pressure relieving. Here's part of that cycle. You're seeing intensification of SO2 plumes as the pressure waves come and go. Okay. They don't always instant effect when the Schumann grinds. It takes a minute for that pressure to come from the core all the way up through the magma, up to the surface and push the gas out. Okay, so when we see an inbound wave get absorbed and then the burp of pressure build from below, we don't we don't see it at the surface quite right away. So we get little delayed reactions. What I'm trying to say, but as you can see, very intense in that region tonight. That's our relief valve over here in this region. Okay, very intense plume there. We're coming on down. Not even Tasmania is safe for this. And then as we go into New Zealand, it just keeps intensifying down there as well. Okay. Wasn't much here at New Zealand for a while until a bunch of people showed up there trying to hide. And then, oh boy, wish you guys understood. Well, you do. My viewers do. Meanwhile, deep region, Fiji here, having SO2 emissions now. Some of the other islands around that region a little bit. This island right here, the two little plumes, they help relieve pressure as it comes into our plate boundary system. Okay, we'll refer to that a little later. All right, so there's all your, India still pretty dark. It gets caught in that region. The Himalayas won't let it traps it in there. Meanwhile, this region here darkening up, and Turkey as well. So you might see some quake activity start happening in these regions now. All right, I think that's it on the SO2. I'm sorry, I just don't want to do this next part. All right, Lord. Everybody take a deep breath. All right. Looking around here, well, let's just hop in over here. Hop in, the water's warm. No, it's scalding hot. Don't hop in. You might get cooked to death off the shore of this coast here. But meanwhile, I want to look at Taiwan. And our yellow fingers that were reaching into this area have receded. So that's good. That tells me some kind of pressure has been released in this area. We must have had some quake activity. And we have cold water inundation here on the back side. So that's a good sign as well. Some pressure being relieved. Maybe the SO2, maybe we had a good quake or something shifted down below. But we have definitely seen a retreat of the yellow. Thank you, Jeremy. I am having a good night now that you said that. Thank you. Anyways, as we go up through this region, you just see how hot the water is right here. This is an interesting, super cold right next to super hot. You know we're going to see vortex right there, right? Meanwhile, cold patch growing right in this area. This whole Tamumasi complex is starting to make a big yellow bar type structure. Okay, we've seen the yellow bar structure before, and then another site would open up and relieve that effect. But as we get in here, you see this yellow bar structure starting to form. If you've been paying attention each night, you see the change. Okay, another cold water pocket formed right here too. So we'll see vortex rotation around that. Meanwhile, look how, remember off the coast of Alaska here, it was really, really hot. Look how cold the water is now in that region. And how up here, everything is hot now. So we had a pressure shift or a pressure change down below. And now, it's pushing more up this region here than it was, so much in the Gulf at one time. Okay. It's blatantly obvious, and I'm just going to kind of zoom in on it here. Okay. You know how every night I report on the little microquakes at volcanic islands? Do you see what those microquakes at those volcanic islands, Can you see an effect? Can you see how they're relieving pressure, allowing cold water in that area? And it matches the island structure perfectly. Does it not? all the all the SO2 emissions and all the earthquake, microquake activity in this region has actually relieved enough pressure to allow cold water inundation in that area. And then this is just, ugh, we'll get back to this later. I gotta say a prayer before we even talk about that stuff. And this too. Oh boy. Do you see the face crying here? Looking at it, just crying. We need some quake activity in this region to relieve pressure. Okay, we'll get into that a little bit here tonight too. There, down here, we have this new hot spot here. Not really big. Doesn't look like it's going to take out La Nina totally, but it might hamper it a little bit or change it up a little bit. We'll see. But cold water inundation is good. We'll take cold water anywhere we can find it, all right? Because this is getting, well, off the hook. And you can see this plume kind of spreading slowly but surely, getting, more organized. This area too. Okay. All this heat coming out of the upper, nuts. They're going to lose a lot of ice in this area. It's going to melt. We're going to see slabs break off, causing, it might see a tsunami up in this region without even having a quake, just by an ice slab falling in or something. Meanwhile, over here at Iceland, we got volcanoes and all kinds of earthquake activity, but you see this pressure building up around it. Cold and hot, we're going to see vortex activity there too. All right, that's good enough. Let's put the wind on. Everybody take a deep breath. And exhale. All right. Wow. You know what? You see, remember this was kind of sending sand back in there, and it was disrupting our sand flow? That's answered prayers right there. This vortex is dying out. The flow is actually coming in, swooping that sand and sending it up into this. All right, this little reverse flow is kind of dying out here, right there. So that's good. It's keeping. I want to see that flow continue, and it'll just a constant bar of sand coming off of there, going through this area. Okay, that would keep a lot of hurricane production down. But like I showed you, we had gaps in the sand there. And you can see these thermal anomalies are now, controlling the air currents. They match up with the heat anomalies perfectly, identically. I'm going to come over to this one now. Yeah, we need that sand to keep hurricanes down. It's at first I kept reporting on the sandstorms and nobody did. Well, there's a reason, because I understand how it would affect the upcoming hurricane season, and that it would, become a part of the show. It would become vital information later on down the line. So that's why we kept doing it, and we keep doing it. All right. There is your configuration right there. Let me kind of look around at this really quick and see. All right, our conveyor belt getting very organized. our broad band of flow right here. See how wide and broad it is from the vortex out to the edge? Okay, that's very organized, very organized, strong flow. These things could get caught up in that flow. Actually, it looks like they're going to go right through there. So they might go south of the islands, and the outer bands might give them some rain and stuff. Hopefully everything kind of follows this current right there and gets pulled a little south of the islands there. This little arch of heat right here. See how we have this whole like eye structure that's all speckled? And in there are your three. They're being induced by the thermals out here. Okay, so, boy, how do I tell him this, Lord? I'm gonna leave it right there. I gotta say a prayer real quick, you guys. I'm sorry. I gotta say a prayer for you guys as well. All right, so give me 20, 30 seconds here. Find the cat, say a prayer. I'll be right back. Now's a good time to take a minute to go to the bathroom or whatever. Grab something to drink. We'll be right back in a minute, and then you're gonna have to help me, Lord. Read a message, because I don't think they're gonna take it serious, and I need your help. Calendar. Okay, thank you. The calendar. All right. Oh boy. All right. Thank you for your moment of your time there. I have a brief prayer and a cigarette. Forgive me, I smoke. I'm not the best. I'm trying to quit. Working on it. Progress, not perfection, but okay. All right. I'm pretty much, you can see. All right. The colors do the talking. All right. These fingers that are reaching in. All right. We talked about the plate boundary right there leaking lava or leaking hot water, whichever it is. It's producing hot water plume right there. Okay. Positives and negatives. This is relieving pressure too. You got to remember that. But it's also an indication that pressure has built up in the area. So much so that the fracture zone here isn't quaking. It actually ruptured the inside fracture zone. And we'll show you that on the plate boundary map in the oh, he's crying, man. I know why too. the plate boundary map on the earthquake map. All right, so I'm going to try to do this best I can here. So I'm going to position it right there. We're going to pull up the calendar. Okay, this is going to sting a little bit, you guys. So here we go. What I want to do is, this is showing the 20th right here that we're on. I'm going to go back a week to the 13th. Okay? All right, everybody take a deep breath. You're going to see the difference between a week. Give him strength, Lord. Okay. That was the 13th that you, just a week ago, we're reporting on the cold water right here. Remember how it was holding off the plume? A week later, within 7 days, I want you to wrap your head around that a little bit, okay? You saw the drastic change within a week. What do you think next week might look like? Again, sorry it stings, but we got to do this. So this is what he told me to do. Show him the calendar, Brian. A week ago. The 13th. August 13th, 2024. It looked like that. As of August 20th, that's 2 days ago. Well, a day ago. All right. This map, remember, everything you're seeing is a day ago. Okay. Everybody, okay. Boom. It did that much in a week. And I want you to remember, these readings you're looking at are a day ago. So it may have intensified more since. Okay. We need quakes. We need pressure release in this area. I fear that the pressure coming up underneath the smaller plate like this is going to cause it to thrust upward. It's a thrust fault. You guys know that, right? This is a thrust fault. And if something pushes up underneath the loose chip, being the Wanda Fuca, the whole plate boundary, the whole plate, the Wanda Fuca plate could move. That would trigger something just devastating. Our comma structure kind of broke in half, but our southern plume intensifying there, okay? People on the West Coast, you better take heed of what's going on out here. And I wouldn't be going in the water either. That would be kind of dumb. All right. Any kind of little burp from down below and you're out here in the water's warm, it's not bothering you. It could flare up and change temperature pretty quick. You're over here on this beach and you're thinking you're fine, and there's boiling hot water just off the coast, and burp, all of a sudden this blue area turns yellow and your day is done. But notice the blue area. That's at our fulcrum point. Notice the one area that's holding off is our fulcrum point, because we do see quake activity there, releasing energy at that point, okay? This is a very serious topic, okay? It's something that needs to be taken seriously. You need to be adult about this. You need to make a mature decision of your own. You see what's going on here? I just tried to bring forward what God showed me and taught me to explain to you. Okay? But I would suggest backing away from the coastline. Not just because of this problem, you also have ice sheets that are melting. Any kind of plunge into the water, underwater landslide, anything that can trigger a tsunami. There's so many factors now at play that could trigger a tsunami right now that I would back away from the coast. Okay, if you want to live, that is. Some of us are going to go surfing and go across over to the other side because we have nothing to fear. But for those of you, I really would watch out for earthquake activity around the Bay Area now. See how this is fingers reaching up towards the Bay Area there? Okay, San Andreas Fault runs right through there. Remember, it comes offshore across the Golden Gate, back on land, and right down through there. So that's your plate boundary going up through there, meeting up here, coming out to your Juan de Fuca and up. And all that's happening right off the coast of California there. And this, let me tell you something about this kind of activity. All right, heat down below like this will pull low creatures that dwell at the bottom, your bottom dwellers, your deep sea creatures that we rarely ever seen or have never seen before, are getting shoved up higher in the water column because the water down below is getting hot. They like cold water, so they're searching out places of refuge where there's cold water or either hot or cold. They might be searching out either one. But what I'm telling you is this going to change your aquatic life and what washes up on your shores, okay? And what shows up in your waters, okay? I showed you a couple of things that have been captured already. You ain't seen nothing yet, okay? Spiritual realm is beyond your imagination. Okay, meanwhile over here, this whole structure just off the hook. We come up here, I really need to show you guys, talk about heat signatures coming up through the ice at the North Pole. I said heat signatures coming up through the ice at the North Pole. You see all the intense hot water around the North Pole up here. That's going to melt a lot of ice, all right? Greenland. Greenland has a lot of ice on it. You see these plumes growing on either side. Coming out this side is over here. So underneath here, it's probably heat plume warming up the land, melting water underneath the ice sheet here. You're going to have, erosion from underneath the ice sheet will melt because the ground's so hot. So the bottom side will melt, causing weak structure fatigue, and the weight on top will cause fatigue and cause it to collapse. Just all kinds of different things are going to happen. It's all because of our pressure down below and the heat structures that it's causing here on the ocean. One more time with the wind, and then we're out of here. Okay. Sorry I had to step aside for a second there, but this, I got to be accurate and try to convey the message properly without being alarmist, but also being, responsible about reporting on such things, okay? And let you make your decision. You can come over to this instrument too and play around with the calendar. See how much it changed in the last 3 days. Okay, and you'll get an idea of the rate of growth, the rapid rate of growth. And when I see Face over here crying, everybody pray for the West Coast and, get your relatives that are, in that region prepared a little bit mentally, spiritually, okay? If they don't believe you, drop some hints or something. I don't know. All right, enough looking at that. It kind of makes one sick after a while. Okay, coming on over to our deep quake region, Fiji. Okay, here's our little island with SO2 coming out. Wow. Oh, my stomach feels better already. Whew. Now, here we go. Please, Lord, can we have it? There it is. 5.1 down at 565. Okay, that's a pretty good depth right there, and it's above our normal. Our normal is 4.5, so we've seen an uptick at depth, a sign of pressure down below coming up. Okay, no quakes here at the plate boundary and the end of the crack. It's basically a big long crack in the eggshell, the crust of the earth. And then the crack kind of stops, blends back into the terrain. Okay, so there's the beginning of the crack, your plate boundary. And here's your island right here that relieves that pressure. So anything coming up through here has been kind of nullified. We have volcanic islands relieving pressure all through there. And the absence of quake activity depicts that. It shows that. Okay. Meanwhile, this little pit area, we get deep quake activity there sometimes, and we have a 4.6 down at 301. Okay, it's not way down at 5 something, it's at 301. That's about a little halfway up or whatever, and a mid-range 4. Here's Java that's spewing all kinds of SO2. We have plate boundary right here. Now we're having quake activity, which is indication that the pressure coming out of here, out of these volcanoes and the SO2 is not enough. It's also firing off quakes here at 48. All right, that is not a, well, it is. How do we tell them? Well, back out. These are all volcanic islands, okay? This whole structure is a volcanic, like, dome or mountainous ridge. You see how it sticks up above the water? Well, if you went down the flank of it, down to the base, this would be like the base of this volcanic structure right here. A whole plateau. All right? And down at the base of the volcano is a 4.8 down at 48. That's how you know. If it were at the surface, it'd be more like a plate boundary. But when you see 48, well, it's a little deeper. That's activity at the base of a volcano. Capiche? Comprende? Krakatoa went off. Okay, video of that floating around. I don't have time to go pluck out all the video and stuff either. I just got to get this stuff. 4.6 down at 131. All right. You guys have seen it. You're out there all day long on your phones. Know it. Meanwhile, very quiet here at Taiwan. In fact, ow, really right in my hand. I want to do a 7-day all magnitude here at Taiwan. Okay, so over the course of a week, we need to see more than this. All right, but we did have the 6.1 there. 4, 4.3. Oh, this little flurry up here may have helped. 5.4. When was that? Oh, okay. All right, so that helped a little bit there as well. Out here, this is where our yellow fingers were reaching in. We're coming in through these island chains right here, and it was reaching to right about this point. And there you have a 4.5. So this activity must have relieved some of that pressure because we saw that yellow finger reaching in and then it retreated. So the pressure in this area retreated, and I didn't think there was enough quake activity, but apparently there is. I didn't know about that little patch. Or wasn't paying close enough attention. And some of this down here also helps relieve energy in that region just a tad. All right, now back out of this. Go back to our 1-day all magnitude regular programming. Now, no fulcrum point quake here, but we do have fulcrum point quake there and another shallow quake here. All right, at a depth of 10. This is really thick, tough, mountainous crust. We usually have deeper quakes up in this region. This little valley right here, this little stadium type structure right on the rim here, we're having 3.6s. We had one there just the other day too. All right. Bigger quake right on the rim of the Gobi Desert. You can tell it was a body of water. Okay. The weight of that water pressing down on this seabed compacted it and made it super dense. Then when it evaporated, it left this super dense desert packed sand, right? So we don't get SO2 emissions. We don't get any kind of quake. Whoa, not too much. No quake activity in it, but right at the fringe where your weak spot is, you get your 5.2 at the surface there. That's a good scrubbing of energy right there in that region. You remember I showed you all the SO2 that's building up in China, right? They need a lot of earthquake activity to relieve that. And if they don't see something in a while, they might have a big magnitude quake. And this is indications over here 5.2 just off the Gobi Desert that something, pressure's coming out here via SO2 and pressure building up over here. It can't come out as SO2, so we're having quake issues there. Now, everybody get ready to rock and roll. 4.4 at Iran at a depth of 10. These are little indicators for those people in that region. The land is shaking. Hints, clues, miracles, all three at the same time, and you got to see it. Meanwhile, here in Greece, 3.5 at the surface. They're having fire issues here in Greece because, well, there's heat underneath this region pushing up. There's a huge, they need more quake activity to relieve the pressure in there. Same with Italy over here. They're going to have some serious issues here pretty soon. There's quake activity going along this boundary. They're just not showing it. We did see a 5 the other night, but there's probably more activity than that, okay? Especially with Iceland being the volcano right on the zipper. All right, so before we get into America, we didn't finish up this side. 4.6, now Kamchatka. We got volcanoes going off up here already. We got a 5.4 at a depth of 27. I wonder if that triggered a little volcanic blast too, because we had the 7 that set off double vented volcano. Also 4.7 here at 27 and a 4.5 at 64. So some energy being scrubbed in this region. We've seen the coloration in that area intensify. Okay, so we're seeing quake activity in this area because the pressure's building up. Okay, and we need to see more of that. There's your fulcrum point right there. Then we had all the micro quaking and stuff through this region, and we have that cold water inundation running the entire strip of the islands because they're relieving pressure. Okay, and look at this. No quake activity at any of them. See how quiet it is there now? We got cold water inundation, pressure totally shifted from this area, relief pressure, but it totally shifted. Look at, oh wait, we need all magnitude here. There we go. I was gonna say, that was a little too quiet. Yeah, still a little bit of micro quaking through there, but nah, yeah, it's still doing its job. You can see just little ones. I'm not going to tap on them. They're too small. Nothing out in this region today. I'll take that one. Is 2.3. That's a drop in magnitude too. We were seeing 3s, mid-range 3, 3.8 out there. Now that's an indication. This is our fulcrum point right there. 3.8. So there is still your 3.8 magnitude pressure variant type thing in the area here at the fulcrum point. Not bad. We could use lots more of that relieving pressure. Okay. Oh boy. Can we come back to that? Let's do somewhere else really quick. Meanwhile, over here, the Cocos plate is just similar to the Juan de Fuca. It's a separate little broken off piece wedged in between two well, two huge tectonic plates, all right? We see a lot of quaking in this area. 4.3 at 91, 4.8 at 34, 4.2 at 63, and 4.8 at 34. That just relieved a bunch of pressure in that region. Now, quake activity can streak, or energy can streak up this and connect up with, yes, the San Andreas. All right, so any kind of activity down there can travel that way as well. Very, very delicate situation going on here, too. If you listen to Mike from around the world, he's adamant about the Cocos plate. I understand why, and his adamant about this is about the same I have for the Wanda Fuca now. Before it wasn't such a big deal, but now that we're seeing this, and it's cookie cutter to our whoops, our plate boundaries here. This crack right here that runs right offshore, right here is spewing magma or super hot water. All right, your pressure built up so much and we didn't get a quake that now this ruptured. It ruptured. One, if you comes out, goes up. Right there, too. You can see the plate boundary is like relieving some kind of pressure, but underneath, right where that other plate boundary matches up right here, we got leakage. That's a nice way of saying it. We have leakage. And there's your fulcrum point. Just south of it, here's the Bay Area. In between your fulcrum point and the Bay Area, right out here is another spot. And you got your geysers right here and your quake swarm, relieving as much energy as it can, but we're only getting magnitude 1.3s out of that. We need bigger magnitude, bigger flurry there. This is like trying to be a fulcrum point quake that pushed inland, but it is not in the direction of the energy. This is coming from underneath. Is this a volcanic site? Oh no, okay. Whew. Started to look like a little volcano there. 1.6 here. It's not much, but it's showing that this is locked up. We're not seeing the fulcrum point activity that we should be. Usually pushing inland here is actually backing up and pushing inland up there. Not good. Meanwhile, very quiet along the volcanoes around here. Well, never mind. But not up here. We got a volcano or a earthquake there at that one. Earthquake at St. Helens. That last one maybe. And yes, we're having earthquake activities at Mount Rainier. All right, so all three of them showing earthquake activity. That's an indication of pressure down below, isn't it? And you're seeing the pressure down below, just offshore right there. Probably creeping under the plate now. Don't be surprised we start seeing these volcanoes go off. Oh my. Are you kidding me, Lord? Really? Yeah. Because we have magma pushing up in this region and breaking the surface, emitting underwater right there. Who's to say it couldn't creep in? If we don't see any more pressure releases here, it could push inland and yeah, we might see some activity here, you guys. Just be aware. Okay, I'm not saying big old volcanic explosion or nothing like that. But you see on our volcano report, you see a 12,000-foot plume come out of this every day. And you just start yawning and just become part of the volcano report. Activity around Tahoe there. Activity in the bay. I want a quick magnitude check on this. What? 2.3. Okay, good. That's even smaller inside the bay, but good. No activity right outside. That's good. Right along plate boundary shows good activity there. What's that? Okay. All right. Now, down here where our little quake swarm is, you see our red one already. That means we have current quake activity in the area. Not much, 2.1, but it's the biggest one of all of these for the day. All right. So we could see more. We could use more activity down there. Look how it just went ding, 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 straight across there. 1.6 lands at our weak spot here where we had our quake activity before. Oh, no, this is Chatsworth. Here it is. Highland Park. All right, this Highland Park area, still path of least resistance, still moving around. Our new little spot up here to watch where now is Chatsworth. So a couple new spots coming to life here. Path of least resistance, points to watch in the future. All kinds of little small quake activity going on around the LA area, Southern California, and then that was about it. I want to come over to Texas and New Mexico. We're getting quite a good little quake swarm here. 2.6 is the biggest magnitude there. Oh, yeah, we're getting some energy out of this area here now. 2s, 1.9s. Good, good, good. Venting energy through our man-made perforations in the crust. Like I said that. Man-made perforations in the crust. Yeah. Oh, you didn't like how I said that. Oh, it's not funny. Oh, okay. Boy. First, let's check this. Out in Oklahoma, 2 magnitude. You know, a little bit of shaking going on there. Fulcrum Point quake on the New Madrid, 1.9. That's a 2, basically. We had a 2 here in Oklahoma. We're seeing 2 moving there. And, uh-oh. It's nothing big, but it is activity way up here now. 1.5 is the depth. And what was this one? 8.2. These are some shallow quakes right there. What was the depth on this? 7. Ooh. This whole area moved. You can see it. Dutch would tell you the same thing. Okay, I agree with them on this point right here. That's for sure. This, the edge of the craton. Okay, it's just like a plate boundary as well. A lot of pressure that comes up from underneath the plate comes out at the edge. The plate itself being so thick that it can't really bust out too much, except at weak points, fracture points, fulcrum points, and that's the layout. Bing, fulcrum point, and then these 2 new sites up there, Canada. Watch out up there in Canada. You shouldn't have had Trudeau. If you only knew who he was, you wouldn't allow that. Here we are up at Yellowstone, 3 little quakes. A -2. Can't have a magnitude that's a negative. I'm sorry. You cannot have a magnitude that... If it's a negative magnitude, that means the ground stood super still. It didn't move at all. It was super still. It was in the negative. No, joking around. But this is earthquake activity at a volcanic site, right? Yes or no? This whole area is a volcanic site. So You are having earthquake activity at a volcanic site. Indication of pressure down below. Okay, so we've done all that. Um, mm, mm. Get rid of some of these instruments. There's no geomagnetic storming for the forecast. Let's just get rid of all those ugly pictures and get on over. Finish up our volcano report. Ooh, that's okay. Okay, where are we here? Where'd the thing go across the top? Come back, thingy. It was probably 65 again. So, meanwhile, 65 volcanoes. Craziness. Crazy times. There it is. 34 and 31. Yep. 65 volcanoes. I told you 7 years ago we had 65 volcanoes. 7 years from now, you would have said, Brian, you're crazy. And here we are 7 years later, almost 7 years later. And, well, we got 65 volcanoes and way more underwater. So that makes me even crazier about you. Okay, here we go. You're looking at Luatobi, one that we talk about a lot here. Red. Where's our... You should put the article. Oh, excuse me, right underneath it. But Suinosejima, anyway, exploded at 2024-22. There it is, 7,000 feet. Luatobi, the one you were just looking at, 10,000 feet. Okay, we're pushing 10,000 now. Semaru, maxing it at 15. It was 14 was its maximum, and then it beat its new own personal record and is now every day pumping out 15,000 foot blast. I mean, how many days in a row have we done a volcano report? I think ever since I started, every single day Semaru has gone off at 15 or 14. Marapi, that's why Semaru and Java are such a relief valve. All right, sorry. Marapi is a newer one that opened up last year on Sumatra, and it's pumping at 14,000 feet. Okay, just across the way from Semaru. Dukono, where all those people were fleeing down the side of the volcano. You guys saw that video, right? Hopefully you did, because there were a bunch of people that went up to the edge of Dukono. It's only been active for, I don't know how long now. And they went up to the ridge of it, and the thing erupted. Surprise. And they all had to flee for their lives. It's like, did you really just run out onto the freeway and try to lay down and take a nap in the fast lane or something? I mean, it's, to me, it seems like pretty common sense, but I guess it ain't that common no more. Meanwhile, White Island went from 4,000 to 7,000 foot blasts, okay? So an increase in height is an increase in pressure, okay? So pressure down below, pushing higher blasts out of White Island, New Zealand. Fuego, 15,000. Nevada del Ruiz pushing 21. Songay, that's the lowest I've seen Songay in a while, 19. It's usually 20 or something. Reventador at Ecuador back on the map at 15. It jumps back on there at 15. And that was just today. That was just in the last few minutes. See my thing? It's 12:43 right there. So that was just in the last few minutes. Let's go into today, which is now yesterday. Well, because time flies when you're having fun. Look at all those volcanoes. Shivalush on the Kamchatka. No identifiable satellite imagery. Really? I can see it right there. You can see the big, huge plume. All right, so. Sakurajima, 9,000 feet. Oh. Yeah, you're just traveling downtown. You look down an alley, and here's this big old plume growing out of the mountain down the alley. Yipe. Don't want to be in Japan right now. 9,000 foot right there. IBU at 8,000 feet. Luatobi 10,000. Marapi again 14,000. What the heck? How come the why would you pop up an image that's totally small? Use the whole page. You guys were shy? You could have blown it up, zoomed it out. We could have had a nice big shot of that. Yeah. Yuhadi on Facebook. That's why. Okay, never mind. 4,000 feet out of White Island. You see, there's a 4,000 out of White Island, and then it went to 7,000, so that was an increase in height there. Popocatépetl still kind of Noir Runkatava. Santa Guido, meanwhile, 14,000. Fuego, 15. Nevada, 19,000. That's an increase. Sangay, 20. That's more like it. Sabancaya, 22. All right. Now, whatever you do, do not look at these lists. Turn away because you will get desensitized to thinking this is normal activity. This is pure insanity, what I'm showing you. Okay, this is very, very disturbing. For most people. If you have a strong spiritual foundation, you can breathe a sigh of relief that this is happening. But currently erupting, Barren Island, Bismani, Tucono, Ebico, Erebus. Erebus is on Antarctica. Volcanic activity under Antarctica. Hint, hint. Erta Ale, Etna, Fernandina, Fuego, Home Reef, Ibu, Iwo Jima, Krakatoa, and the list just go on and on. These are all active too. There are no slouches either. And this is just pure insanity. And then this is what's on land. You take these lists and double it. 65 times 2 is 130. So that would be 130 underwater. Then add this list on top of the 130 because that'll be all of them. So 130 and 65 is 195. We're almost breaking 200 volcanoes. So, we don't have the other one pulled up, the underwater. There's surely more than 130 underwater. So we could roughly say around 200 volcanoes that are currently erupting or have activity, either underwater or on land. Now, if I'd have told you at the beginning of the show here that we had 65 volcanoes, that would have sounded crazy. When the actual truth is it's more like 200. Is that crickets I hear? Yep, thought so. All right. While this loads up, I want you to think about 200 volcanoes, all right? And then the ones that we read about and the ash plumes that go way up high like that, that's more particles in the air, all right? So the more particles, the more raindrops. We're also having, the heat plumes evaporate a bunch of water into the air. So your air is holding more water, much more water. And even just regular rainstorms cause flash flooding without severe weather. Okay, so you see green on the map. Oh, it's not severe. Yeah, watch out. You might get 2 feet of rain. All right. So many different factors affecting our weather, especially the solar factor and the spiritual realm factor, making these forecasts very, very iffy. Okay. But we're going to go into the next 3 days. That's what's mostly reliable. Okay. Meanwhile, current conditions, severe weather up there in Montana and North Dakota. And what? Let me pop open Venture Sky really quick because that doesn't look really happening or not. You just got to make sure it's really happening or not, because sometimes they're not now, not now. Come on, really. I want to check to make sure what our activity current conditions are right now over that region, because that was a little dicey looking, and I want to make sure these people up here are, yeah, it's coming up. Give it just a sec there. All right, so yeah, up here in North Dakota, having some severe weather right through there. Can we take that out of there, please? We don't need that in there. And then back down in here in Nebraska, sure enough. All right, so there's your current conditions right through there, okay? And then going into the morning of the 22nd, that's good enough. Noon, convection up there in Canada, nighttime, morning of the 23rd, noon, convection, nighttime. 24th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 25th, noon, convection, nighttime. 26th, noon, convection, nighttime. Anything after this is kind of iffy now. Morning of the 27th, noon, convection, nighttime. But you see those layups like that setup. Watch out up there in Canada, severe weather. Like I explained, that's where cooler air is, and in order to have severe weather, it has to have a cool air component. So we get more warm, moist air coming up from the Gulf of Mexico, driving up through the middle part of the country. It doesn't hit the cold air during summertime. It doesn't hit the cooler air until way up here, and then finally drops further south in morning time hours, when they're still cool. The air is still cool. So there's your convection, the 27th, nighttime, the 27th, morning, the 28th, noon, convection, nighttime, 29, noon, convection, nighttime, that low. Morning of the 30th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 31st, noon, convection, nighttime. Well, that all changed. That used to drive up into Canada the other day. Look how this thing changed. It's saying more southerly now. From the morning of the 29th all the way through this time frame, the nighttime of the 29th going into the 30th, noon, convection, nighttime. That whole thing stayed south. Morning of the 31st, noon. You see how at noontime the cooler air is up here? It's all warm down here. Convection, nighttime. Morning of the 1st, noon. Convection, nighttime. 2nd, noon. Convection, nighttime. 3rd, noon. Convection, nighttime. 4th, noon. Convection, nighttime. 5th, noon. Convection, nighttime. 6th. Yeah. Okay, so not much really to worry about. After this little severe event right there that's currently happening is over, we get into a little clear patch for a minute there, so that's good. Hopefully it stays that pattern right there. I'll take that. Not too bad. See a little creeping thing up in there, but as we get closer to that, we'll report on it. You can see how much this low, remember, it went way up in there. Now it stayed down here. You see how much it changed just in a day. So these forecast models are getting harder and harder because, there's other factors that they don't know about that they're not adding into it. So there you go. There's your astrophysics, your geophysics. Now it's time to take a break and step into what you would say. Now, let me get some of these out of here. Your metaphysics, which we'll just call the spiritual report here, okay? Because you start saying that term and everybody thinks all guru, weird stuff. They think all that stuff when it's really the real deal. Now, what we need to do here, Lord, help me. Oh, yeah. Pull up some images really quick. And maybe we'll do a quick little history video too when we get there. All right. So, real event, that's your foundation. That's your rock right there. Okay, hold on to those images. You need to memorize this image. So when everything's gone or whatever, you'll still have this. All right. Now I'm gonna open up my channel, and what was the one thing that somebody was thinking earlier? What was it? It was in that video, but we watched that one last night. Do you guys want to see the demon and principalities? I don't want to chase anybody off, but it is kind of important that you understand what's going on here. Let me just get this really quick. I don't want to scare everybody off, but this is what you're being protected from. Okay? You don't have to deal with this stuff, because I do.
Satan in this stuff too. So as we're looking here at this picture, what I'm talking about is in this mosaic of blotchy white dots that you see this picture is comprised of. When you zoom in really tight in on a picture, you'll see that it's made up of these splotchy little patches and dots. These new digital cameras make these little blotches. Well, hiding in these blotches are faces. And if you haven't seen it yet, there's an eye right here and an eye right here. And when you make eye contact with these two eyes right here, you'll see the mouth fall into place down here. It's snarling. If you look, it's got some kind of streaks or horns or something or wrinkles coming out of its head up here. And this is some kind of demon or principality. You know, other people refer to them as principalities, but this is what I'm talking about, and hopefully you can see this here. This is a pupil right here of an eye. This is a pupil of a bigger eye. Here's the whites of the eye, the white of this eye. These two eyes. Once you look at those, you'll see it falls into place. Maybe I'll pull back a little bit. You can see a little bit better. Zoom in. Right about there is good. And you can make out there's teeth here in this mouth. There's a corresponding mouth with these eyes, wrinkles going across the nose here. This is some kind of demon or principality. And it's tucked in the way in the corner of this picture, way back up in here. And you can't even see it as in a normal picture, but you zoom in, swing it over, zoom in, and you can see this face just appear. And there's more faces in this stuff too, but this one's really, really defined and pretty dominant in this picture. So I want to start off with that one. Hopefully you guys can see this one. Okay. So in this sequence here, I've got my camera pointed at the couch now because I've been capturing activity around this couch. And one night I was just sitting on my couch there praying, and wasn't really thinking of capturing anything. Here I was just sitting here praying before I started taking pictures or doing my thing, and it was already running. And lo and behold, there's some kind of demon up here. You'll see some green wings over here kind of flapping, and it lifts up my bike and spits a bolt of energy on it. And I had no idea this happened until I went back through my pictures and stuff. And I put this series into motion in a flip book. And I realized, oh my goodness, look what happened. It picked up my bike and spit a bolt of energy on it.
Real poltergeist
this
activity.
One you can't really see the face too well, but you can make out the wings kind of flapping. Maybe we'll pull it over this way a little more. There we go. And this thing turns, picks up my bike, lifts it up, and spits a bolt of energy on it. Okay, there's that. I'll let you look at that one for a second longer.
Okay, in this one, well, I think most of you that are here have already seen this, so.
Okay, in this series here, I'm sitting on the couch again praying, the camera's set up, and you'll see a purple streak, a bolt come in here, right there, boom. And it hurt. You can see my reaction to it. So we'll let it run again. Here I am sitting here praying. There's all kinds of stuff jumping around in the background, and then zap right there. And that was a real one. I could feel it. And now when I go back, we're going to go back to the top of that bolt and zoom in on the face. Okay, so here's the frame.
All right, a little warning. This is going to be disturbing. This is Satan's face, okay? It's not meant to scare you, but it's, yeah, some people might want to dip out. If you don't want to see this, you can come back in a few minutes or whatever. But we got to kind of show this just real quick. I don't like to give this guy attention or any kind of glory or anything like that, but you must understand that this is part of the thing. I get attacked by this thing.
Of me getting hit with that bolt. You can see the bolt coming down here. It's got a kind of a purple hue to it or whatever. And then we're going to start zooming in to the face up top here. And it's going to be Satan's face. So you guys ready to see this? If not, you might want to stop the video at this point. But I do not glorify this at all. I do not like to give him attention. But it's important to know that he's real. Because he wants everybody to think that he's not real. I think you might be able to see this face without me pointing anything out yet.
Okay, just real quick. The eye, the smile, ear coming out. Okay, very disturbing. I get attacked by this thing.
There we go.
I get attacked by him because of who I am.
Okay, so let me zoom out so I can see it. If you look right here at this eye, this is his crazed eye. The other on the other side is bigger. It's the all-seeing eye. It's a little out of proportion, but then you can make out the side of his face, his jawline coming down, the bottom of his chin, his face going up here. Here's his mouth with some evil kind of grin on it. You can see his ear coming out over here. You can make out horns coming up. And this is in that mosaic of dots again, but these faces pop out and they're more prominent. You can see this one really stands out. And that's Satan right there. You can even make out some wings coming up here.
When I pull back more in the video, you'll see that wings a little better.
He's mad. He's mad because I'm praying. And he's spitting bolts of energy at me and spitting on my bike and doing all sorts of crazy stuff.
Okay, so not only am I capturing Mary and angels and that, but also how the demonic realm is real as well. Okay, it's important that you understand that. Okay, it's not a joke. This thing attacks me. It hurts. It attacks me because of who I am. Right? That's why I kind of showed you that, because then that leads into something else here really quick. Because after that activity was taking place, this starts happening. And we'll get into this really quick here.
Howdy, folks. Welcome
that's
back.
Too big.
So these faces that I've been showing you in the last few videos that are in the etherical or in that mosaic that I was talking about are not only taking place there, but now they're taking shape in our clouds. And with this new filter, I was able to go through some of these pictures, and it really makes them pop now. So if you can't see it yet, there's an eye here, an eye here, here's the nose, a mouth down below, here's an ear coming back up, the jaw running down, little pointed chin. And this face seems to almost be bisected. One half is like a goblin, and this other half looks like almost like a Wolverine or a Ewok type character. So I'll let you look at that for a minute. And this was pretty faint in the original picture, but now with the filter, it really makes it pop. So hopefully you guys can see that now. And then I'm going to bring you some more. And just real quick here, I wanted to show you the unfiltered version. This is the original right here compared to this one right here, where you can make out a lot better. Okay, one more, and this one right here, you can make out we have an eye here and an eye right here. Here's the nose, and here's some lips. It looks like he's blowing. You can make out his ear over here, horns and stuff coming up, his eyebrows. There we go. Now you can see a little bit.
You see, he's huffing and puffing and blowing out clouds. The spiritual realm has a hand in the weather as well. Yes or no? Yeah.
Better.
Also, imagine having these faces in the clouds follow you everywhere you go. At first, it was pretty scary and disturbing. But after seeing all these different characters and what's going on, after a while, you just get used to it. A lot of you have started taking pictures of the clouds, and I check your channels and I check your videos, and you're capturing stuff.
Lips. Okay, so I wanted to show you that one with the filter.
And it's not until you capture a real event like this yourself that you understand, oh, this is real. Because here at this channel, you see this, you think, this could be computer generated, it could be AI, it could be this. But when you have this happen to you yourself and you capture something, that's when you will be caught up in the clouds. You will not be able to take your eye off the sky. All right, it'll be hard to drive around town because you'll be looking at the cloud formation that's looking at you, blowing clouds at you. You're wondering, is this thing going to spit lightning at me next or what? Right? Okay, so I'm plagued with these giant faces that follow, watch, and study my every move. When I tell you the faces in the clouds, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, real faces. This is not a joke. This isn't your pareidolia. It's not. It's real activity. If you guys look up out of your phones, you'd be amazed what you see in the sky. Actually, don't, because then you wouldn't leave your house. You would pray every time you left your house. If you had any idea what was up in the sky,
unless you enjoy being
really,
so comfortable, you won't want to get up. Ever feel like you're...
If you knew, well, you guys do know what's going on in your sky, okay? But if people looked up one day and saw this activity without understanding,
so I know there's a lot of activity going on the sun, but I really don't feel like reporting on that stuff right now. Actually, I want to go back and revisit an event that happened earlier this year, 2020, around Easter, when I captured what appears to be Jesus in the clouds here. So I need you to tilt your head to the right about 45 degrees, and here's an eye, his other eye, his nose, his mouth, his chin and beard, his hair flowing back like this, and you can make out a crown up here above his head.
Okay. Bunch of pictures that I took. I show you those pictures every night. But here is the flip book that they murdered. So you guys
see that this face has changed now. Now we're seeing a more round, like lion type face with a nose right here. Here's an eye coming out here, an eye going that way. Here's its mouth slit, the chin going down here. So this round face right here with a crown still above it. Now I'm going to go through and show you the flip book where it changes from Jesus to this lion face.
I saw somebody say a warning message from God. That's exactly what these are.
Okay, now we're here at this image right here. This is a flip book of about maybe 15 or 20 of those pictures.
Oh, here we can play the sound really quick.
And it's the transition between Jesus's face and the lion face. Now, this happened in the clouds, and it was so big and in your face you couldn't see it. It wasn't until I took these images and zoomed out and compressed them. You didn't zoom in. They're too big in your face. You have to zoom out to see these. And these images that you're looking at have all been compressed, each frame, and then put into a flip book. And you can clearly see Jesus's face here with his crown hovering over his head, turning into that weird little lion face or whatever right there. Okay? And this happened back around Easter of 2020. So,
okay. All right, now we'll do some reading. Let me pull up the images really quick. Just a little brief history. Kind of each show, we're giving you little nuggets here and there. Of my past and my history and what happened here. How all this stuff started happening to me. And then, well, nobody believed me. That was the weird part, was like everybody wouldn't even look at the pictures.
This device
They
for
just
measuring
immediately
blood sugar,
jumped
blood
to,
pressure.
oh, you're going to go off to an insane asylum. I'm like, wait. No, that's not the case. But, well, humans don't understand or listen too well, do they? All right, this is a very important image right here. You see my face forming in the clouds, the crown above it here being projected by Jesus' heart. Okay, I want that image way better. That's too small. Right there is good. We want it to where it's not too big in your face and blurry, but far back enough to where it's defined and you can see it. All right. Never mind my face right here in the clouds right now. Focus on that heart. Okay. That's what everything is happening from Jesus's heart. Okay. These are real images. I showed you last night after this event, the clouds were mimicking me taking pictures of them. So then he knows that I see his handiwork in the sky. So he's mimicking me taking pictures of him, acknowledging, yes, I see you taking pictures of me. Here's this. Here's your face coming from my heart. Okay. And I already kind of knew what was going on around this time. And these images didn't surprise me. Also, something else that kind of goes unseen here in this picture that I don't point out very often, but we're going to point it out tonight, is this half bisected alien face right here. See the eye? And then this face right here. This would be the other half over here, but it's bisected down the side, and here's like this alien face, and you can see the eye. All right, so a lot of strange symbolism and stuff that's caught in the clouds. I've actually captured scenes, like action movie scenes with giant waves breaking through Capitol buildings and water gushing out the windows. Okay, apocalyptic scenes and stuff. Those ones I don't really show too much of, but they're on my channel. If you go looking around, you'll see them. Meanwhile, we'll stick with this and do some reading. We got one last image really quick. Sorry, I'm ranting. You guys are like, come on, we've been waiting all this time. Get to it. Come on, please. Thank you. All right. Very important that you understand this is a real event right here. There will be signs in the sun, the moon, and the stars, right? I show you the signs in the sun. Here's a sign out by the moon. Okay. Dude bought a brand new camera, a very expensive camera, by the way, to capture this because he captured it before. Okay. That testimony is important. Okay, that verifies how authentic this is, okay? And this doesn't surprise me because my face is showing up all over in the clouds. Why not? What's going on here? Here it is out by the moon, okay? And that indeed is my face. Okay, I'm not trying to say, hey, look at me, I'm special, or I discovered something special. No, this is for you, for your mental health, so you can stand in these days. Now, I hear you guys out there loud and clear. Your prayers are heard. And I hear you loud and clear. And that's where I'm going to read tonight to answer some of that. Okay? First, I want you to take a deep breath. Okay? Let's relax first for a minute. Come over here. See that heart? Comes from a place of love. There we go. That's better. Okay? I need to take a deep breath too. Now relax and let me lead you through each day. I have everything under control, and it's my control. So, right here, I want to just stop right there with the relax and let me lead you through each day. Something I'm going to point out. I was talking about yesterday, when you first get up in the morning and you start your day. Do you start your day by going into your phone or texting, or do you go look at the headlines and start plugging into the disturbing news of the day? Or do you start your day thinking about the Lord and relaxing in his presence? Well, I want you to consider, what time is it right now? Oh, wait, it's just after midnight. And for some of you guys, it's just the opening hours of a day, of the next day, isn't it? I caught you guys already. You guys, you started off your next day with me. Right at midnight, didn't you? Did you know I was doing that the whole time? That you were starting off your day with me? That I was doing that to you? Think about it. I go live at midnight, transition of the day. I catch you in the opening hours of the day, don't I? Yes, this whole time. That's why you can indeed relax and let me lead you through this next day. Understand, I already have everything under control, and it's my control. Now, you tend to peer anxiously into the next day that is before you, trying to figure out what to do and when. Right? I mean, we do that every day. Well, tomorrow's plans, I'll be there at 2:30. I'm going to hear at 4:30, and then by then I'll start dinner at 5:30. You're got when and where all planned out, don't you? You always peer into the next day trying to figure out what to do and when. Meanwhile, the phone rings or the doorbell rings, and you have to reshuffle your plans, don't you? All that planning, yep, all that planning ties you up in knots and distracts you from me. Attentiveness to me is not only for your quiet time, but for all your time. So as you look to me, I show you what to do now and next. And vast quantities of time and energy are wasted in obsessive planning. So when you let me direct your steps, you are set free to enjoy me and to find out what I've prepared for you this day. Pretty cool, huh? You are set free to enjoy me and find out the little treasures I put along your pathway today. So, let me direct your steps. You're going to waste vast quantities of time and energy if you don't let me direct your steps, because when you do let me direct your steps, you're set free to enjoy me and to find all the treasures along the trail. You guys having fun with this yet? Good. When you're going through your day, I enjoy birds. Okay, birds are very smart animals. So as you listen to birds calling to one another, hear also my love call to you. Listen for my love call to you in the birds chirping to you. Okay, they're gonna chirp something to you, and you're gonna hear it in their chirp, and you're gonna go, "What? Did that bird just talk to me? It sounded like it said this," and it will chirp it again, and you'll hear my love call to you as you listen to the birds. I speak to you continually through sights, sounds, thoughts, impressions, scriptures. Actually, there is no limit to the variety of ways I can communicate with you. Even here, like this. Your part is to be attentive to my messages in whatever form they come. So when you set out to find me in a day, you discover that the world is vibrantly alive with my presence. You may not hear the birds talking to you or chirping at you yet, but the doves will fly right in front of your face and just let you know I'm watching you. So when you see doves fly in front of you tomorrow, you're going to be like, "Oh, okay." Or you might even hear my love call as you listen to the birds. Seriously, you need to. The animals are talking, really. They're communicating through their chirps, their barks, their meows, their calls. And when you set out to find me in tomorrow, in this next coming day, you will discover that the world is indeed vibrantly alive with my presence. I am here now. I am present now. Go look around how vibrantly alive you will feel. You can find me not only in the beauty of the bird calls, but also in tragedy and faces filled with grief. I can take the deepest sorrow and weave it into a pattern for good. The deepest sorrow I capture, and I make collages out of your victory over those deepest sorrows, and I bring good out of it. Do you see how I do that? I'm kind of showing you how I do this. And that's how I weave this pattern into good. So search for me and my messages as you go through this next day. I want you to seek me and find me when you seek me with your whole being. You already found me. You started off your day finding me. Good start. Now, my presence here with you is, let me try it this way. Thankfulness. Being thankful opens the door to my presence here. Okay, so when you're thankful, that door swings open even wider, right? A lot of my prayers are, thank you for the protection out on the roads. Thank you for saving me at that stop sign there. Thank you for that, the interaction with that new friend. Just all the different things that you recognize, even the adversity. Thank you for making me late for the show. Things that you overcome. Okay? It's thankfulness that opens the door. What opens the door? Thankfulness. It's thankfulness that opens the door to my presence. And though I am always with you, I have gone to great measures to persevere your freedom of choice. Your freedom of choice. Okay? I want you to choose me. It's like a friend, you want to pick out a friend. Well, does that friend like you? Do they choose you back? So your thankfulness opens the door. You realize that I'm always with you. You see the great measures right in front of you that I've gone through to persevere your freedom of choice. You see, I have placed a door between you and me, and I have empowered you to open or close that door. Okay? I put the door in between us, and I gave you the power to open or close it. Now, there are many ways to open it, but a grateful heart and a grateful attitude is the most effective. Okay? Just being grateful sometimes. I have to do it several times a day. I'll turn into a spoiled little brat and catch myself and be like, you know what? I am thankful I am not walking right now, that I'm sitting down. Just stupid stuff. I'm not in pain at the moment. Not stupid. Little stuff. Little stuff is very important. There are many ways to open the door, but the grateful attitude is the most effective. See, thankfulness is built on a substructure of trust, isn't it? When you're thanking somebody, it's because it's built on this structure of trust. So when thankful words stick in your throat, you need to check up on your foundation of trust. When it becomes hard to say thankful words, well, check your foundation of trust. When thankfulness flows freely from your heart and lips, then let your gratitude draw you closer to me. I know it's hard sometimes, especially in these adverse conditions. You're in a tough situation. How could I be thankful for that? But you grow stronger from that adversity. Okay, I use that for good. So just bear down. When thankfulness flows freely from your heart and lips, let your gratitude draw me closer to you. I want you to learn the art of giving thanks in all circumstances. Okay? And it's an art. It doesn't come easily. You have to practice it. Okay? It's a progress, not perfection. But I want you to learn the art of giving thanks in all circumstances. See how many times you can thank me daily. That will awaken your awareness to a multitude of blessings. Okay? What you don't know is there were 1,000 incidences where you could have died today out on the road. That car could have veered left and taken you out. That other one could have hit this one. There's just a multitude of blessings that everything is. When you look at all the little tiny details, man, they're blessings too. Then you realize all those blessings are available because of the sacrifice. When you say, well, thank you for your sacrifice, it makes possible this multitude of blessings. Well, that awakens your awareness. We're awakening your awareness. I am indeed here. I am indeed back in the flesh, walking proof that God exists. In the flesh, undeniable, walking proof, not theory, not cloud, the actual man, walking around, the Word made flesh, hanging out with his children, meeting them in the air. They get caught up with me in the clouds. I want you to learn the art of giving thanks in all your circumstances. See how many times you can thank me daily, because that's what awakens your awareness to that everything are blessings. Everything are blessings. It will also cushion the impact of trials when they come against you. I just gave you double protection. first of all, I awakened your awareness to everything as a blessing. Now that cushions the impact of your trials. It does. It does. This, knowing I'm here, cushions the impact of the end of days, right? You know that you're going to move on to a new beginning. You've got a solid foundation and a relationship. You know that a thankful heart a grateful attitude is the best way to open the door to me. Yeah, see how many times a day you can recognize a blessing. Okay. The price of gas went down today. Oh, that's a blessing. It really is. Every little thing. The electricity that you have right now so you can see the show. The roof that's over your head, the food that you ate today, the water that you drank, the soda that you drank, the toilet that you went to the bathroom in, and the toilet paper that you wiped your butt with. All of those things are possible because of the sacrifice, every single atom that you interact with. And when you are grateful for all the interaction between those atoms, even good or bad, then you have mastered the art of giving thanks in all circumstances. It cushions the impact of your trials. Pretty soon there's just no trial. You see it for what it is. There's no impact. You just like, bring it. I'm going to overcome this no matter what. I know I am because I got you. So this cushions the impact of your trials. Practice my presence by practicing the discipline of thankfulness. Yeah, it's a discipline. It's easy to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's easy to say it, but it's hard to feel it, to feel thankful in the midst of adversity. I know, I grit my teeth. Thank you, God. Oh, and I'm not really thankful. I'm saying it, I'm gritting my teeth, but then later, once I've salvaged my day, I've rebounded, I look back and I see, oh, there I was, gritting my teeth. And I was trying to say thank you, but I wasn't thankful. I was gritting my teeth. But now that I've salvaged my day, I can go back, say, forgive me for that. I was gritting my teeth. I see how it worked. Now I feel better. Okay, so you guys are doing good at this. Some of you guys are really kind of starting to, well, master the art of salvation. Salvaging things. I like to restore things. I'm in the salvage business. I take broken down, beat up things, and I restore them to perfect condition, whole restoration, even with improvements. Like the old classic cars that you see all hopped up with, superchargers and stuff, and it's an old 67 Mustang. Well, that's you. You're the old classic that's new and improved now, okay? Along those lines, that'll kind of help you see the reason for another reason to be thankful, another one of those blessings, and your awareness of those blessings. That's what helps cushion the impact of those trials. Practice my presence by practicing the discipline of thankfulness. Okay. Again, with this face reflecting light, okay? This is for a reason. This is an example of what you guys look like when you reflect my light, okay? I am the light of the world. Men crawl through their lives, cursing the darkness, but all the while, I am shining brightly. I desire each of my followers to be a light bearer. The Holy Spirit who lives in you can shine from your face, making me visible to the people around you. Ask my spirit to live through you as you wind your way through this next day. Hold my hand in joyful trust. Okay, joyful trust, for I never leave your side, and the light of my presence is shining upon you, brightening up the world by reflecting who I am. I'm going to read that whole one again. This is the closer. I want you to wrap your mind around this. I am the light of the world. Men for thousands of years have crawled through their lives cursing darkness. The whole time I am standing right there watching, shining brightly, watching. I just desire them to look to me. I desire each of my followers, that would be you guys following on YouTube here. I desire each of you to be this light bearer, this Holy Spirit that lives in you, that shines from your face, just like that. Just like that image right there. Okay? Ask my spirit to live through you as you wind your way through this next day. Hold my hand in joyful trust. Look for those treasures along the way, okay? The blessings that I've scattered along your path for this next day. All right, you started off your day already with me, didn't you? I've been doing that to you the whole time. Because I am the light of the world, okay? I desire each of my followers to be the same, the light bearer, okay? So ask my spirit to live through you and shine. The Holy Spirit will live and shine from your face, making me visible to the people around you. It's like, give it a try. Give it a try. You got nothing to lose. Really, you don't. And when it works, then try giving up. And then you'll go running right back to it. You'll go, wait, it worked. I don't want to get rid of that. Oh, I see what you mean now. I gave it a try, it worked, and now try running away from it. No, you want it. So hold my hand in joyful trust. I never leave your side. The light of my presence is shining upon you. Brighten up the world by reflecting who I am. I love you guys. I miss you guys. I would love to come on over with a cup of hot chocolate, some marshmallows, whipped cream, and be like, hey, neighbor, it's getting cold outside. Here's some hot chocolate. Give you a big old hug. A real hug, an embrace that's warm. You will feel an embrace. But I can't right now. Nerves are pinched off from below my waist. It's hard to walk. So I can't just come walking on over. But I can meet with my family in the air. See, me and my family, we like to meet in the air. The air of cyberspace. Live on YouTube, where you can get caught up in a good live stream, kind of like caught up in a good book or good song. You get caught up with me in the clouds. You see me coming with power and great glory. Here you are caught up with me in the clouds. We meet in the air every night, don't we? I mean, we continually meet in the air every night, don't we? You're raptured over and over. The rapture technically isn't in the Bible. The word isn't, but the rapture's happening right now. It's not like a one-day, one-time event. It's constantly going on right now. You could at any time come over to my channel, click on a video, see me coming in the clouds, and get caught up with me coming in the clouds. And still you'll be meeting me in the air because you'll be on YouTube. Whether it's live or not, we're still in the air. I complete your faith. Okay, you now know. You know that your prayers are being heard. You know what the time frame we're in. We are. You're waiting while I find some lost sheep. Meanwhile, while we're waiting, we work on our salvage work. Okay, I salvage and restore things. I take old broken down things, restore them, make them better than they were before, make them whole and better than whole. Okay? I'm in the salvage business. Do you understand me? You guys are in that same business now, too. You're in the salvage business, too. You salvage your day. If something goes south or you hear it could be a story on the news that just triggered you. You better find out what your triggers are too. If it's this that gets you upset watching the politics and that triggers you, stop watching it. Unplug. Find out what triggers you and get rid of it. Then come on over here, relax, find some peace with me, and and salvage your day. Okay? Once you do that, then you can smile inwardly and light comes out of your face and you start shining into other people's lives. You can't help anybody else until you fixed your day first. Okay? So we are indeed in spiritual warfare. Okay? What you guys kind of need to understand a little bit more will hell Lord. Okay. So you guys see and you're following, right? So, I lost it there. Oh, well, I'll try and get it back. Anyways, this is your foundation. This is your rock. You see me coming in the clouds. You get caught up in it. We meet in the air every night. Okay. This is the rapture happening over 7 years period now. Okay. It's been going on for a long time. I've been doing this show for quite a while. Okay. You're the lucky ones that believed me. Okay. And it was a good thing that you did because a bunch of doctors, a bunch of other people didn't. And I went through all kinds of hell because they just wouldn't give 5 minutes of their time. But you did. You came and gave me 5 minutes of your time. And weren't you rewarded, huh? Okay. Real stuff, you guys. That's what you got to grasp is how real this is. And then the more you trust me, the more peace you find. Okay, it's proportional. You're having issues with your day, you salvage it, you bring that light, shine into other people's lives, they salvage their day, and then they feel better and they go, hey, thank you. And then try to teach them that art. Say, hey, there's a way of doing this. You take a moment, you take a deep breath, you pray to Jesus, please, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. If it doesn't work on the first one, say it a few more times. Say a few other prayers. Read some scripture. Look up in the clouds. Capture something yourself. Get caught up. And that way you will have, you'll have a firm foundation. This is right here, your foundation. I'm your rock. Okay? After what I've been through, I'm pretty sure that's probably me. I recognize my face in the clouds, recognize it out there by the moon. Getting kind of weird now. But thankfully, I got a few of my family members that are still out there that see me coming in the clouds. And you believe me, and you understand, and you're actually practicing these disciplines, and you're getting relief, finding peace that transcends all your circumstances, doesn't it? It really does. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you cry. I love you. Yeah, the tears of joy, okay? Tears of joy. You guys should be joyful in my presence every day. I am here with you, okay? And being stuck in a skin suit like you guys are, I have to go through these trials again. and each day is fresh material, hot off the street. What I just struggled with today, and I felt you guys struggling with today too. I bring you the very topics that you guys are dealing with, don't I? And I help you deal with them. I give you this gift of dealing with them for free. I freely give to you what I've what I have found. Okay. All right. I love you all. I miss you all. Let's go through here. I want to thank Jane Doe. I see what you're saying. Thank you. I will do this my best to. Oh, good. Yeah, just keep trying. If you don't get results right away, just keep trying. Baby steps. No baby steps here. Each little adversity you overcome is huge. Okay, so they're not baby steps. But if you're not catching on right away, just keep plugging away. It'll take effect. Don't leave before the miracle happens. I want to thank Jimmy Hopkinson, Michelle, Jeremy for being here, you guys. You're awesome. Jane Doe, welcome. We'll get you a wrench here in a little bit. I saw Eric was here earlier. Thank you, Eric, if you're still around. Nah, he went to bed. Angel Wings was here, sweetie. Good to see you. And Michelle. Good. Tigers, I made it. Yay. And Leslie, good. Jeremy. You know what? Thank you guys for being here. All right. This time we spend together is very valuable. You're getting to know me. You're building a relationship with me. Okay? It's not a religion. It's not a cult. It's about a relationship. And then when you understand, now you are no longer dead. You're alive. Your faith has been completed. You now know. I do indeed hear your prayers. Okay? I don't answer them the way you like them. But you will see that they do get answered, and you will see those blessings throughout the course of your day tomorrow. I want you to look around for the little treasures that I've strewn out on your path. And when you recognize one, go, "Oop, that's it right there. I saw it. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus, for showing me my treasure today." When you do that, it opens the door to another whole nother treasure chest. Okay? Give it a try. You got nothing to lose and everything to gain. And in these times right now, you're going to need this. I think you guys are catching on how vital these images are. How vital I am, my presence here with you is. Okay? It's more than just these pictures. I'm an actual person with feelings, emotions. I'm going through it just like you guys are, and I swore I would come and help you guys through this. Well, I'm back. I'm a man of my word. I swore I would come back and help you through this, and I'm back, and I am indeed helping you through this. If you trust me and you practice these disciplines, you will find that help. Okay? Thank you for meeting me in the air. I love you all. Thank you for getting caught up and enjoying me coming in the clouds, power and great glory. This is all true. It's important that you hold on to this with everything you've got, okay? And then look for your little blessings tomorrow out on your way. You've already started your day with me because I know you're just going to plug right in when you wake up in the morning anyway. So, thus, I cut to the chase. I've been doing this for a while. I have been starting your day. And I miss you. I love you. Until my next show, I will be back. I am already back. You guys can tell too. And I love you. Bye.